Prepare for a transformative journey as we unveil the Ancestral Codex, guiding your resilience through ancient principles. Immerse yourself in ancient traditions that empower and sustain. Unlock insights and tools to navigate life's challenges with grace, strength, and enduring resilience. Embark on an odyssey through the Ancestral Codex, where wisdom converges to guide you to a more empowered self. Available now, a gateway to ancestral strength. Get your copy wherever books are found.
The hottest book in town is finally available. We're talking about Codex. The author is Soyapi Maplanga. Does that ring the bell? Good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
What was it like, growing up, in the Maplanga, in a family? What impact did your parents, have, on you? And sadly, we have to talk about the passing on of your mom. What was the influence like?
Well, look, my parents, loved journalism. It was their thing. If I start talking about my father, he loved to read, and he had a massive collection of non-fictional history, books on different cultures. He created more or less like a time machine in which that you would be able to go into the past, live like the people did, understand the world view from different perspectives, different cultures. We had so many almanacs, we had so many books on different religions, different cultures, ancient history. He was able to situate you and give you a worldview so that you could be more empathetic to the world, understand how other people see the world. With my mother, she's, my inspiration, my role model. Storytelling was something that she ingrained in us, very early on. It's how we spent time when we were together. It is how we connected. It is how she showed us that storytelling is a tool to understand other people, place yourselves in their shoes, but also to be able to fluently communicate your ideas. So this is something that started while we were very young, and it's something that she nurtured, and it's something that we were constantly watered with this wisdom. And she introduced us to the power of storytelling. And it's something that we've taken in different careers, wherever you've gone. The power to tell stories is important.
Right. You're telling a story, here, about emotional, intelligence. What are we talking about here?
So we're talking about a lot of things. And I think when a lot of people are growing up, there's a strong emphasis on IQ. Like, this person is clever, this person is smart. You would hear some people use words that this person is book smart. But around the 1990s, the community became aware or alive to the fact that there was something more than just being book smart or intelligent, academically intelligent. And that in order for you to thrive, emotions played a key role. Emotions can make you make a bad decision. Emotions, depending if you're angry, you are unable to think rationally. Emotions are also important because if you experience setback, whether it's the loss of my mother, or someone else has lost a job, or someone else has failed to achieve a certain target, or they're struggling with a business, you need to have the resilience to slow things down, understand what's happening within you and around you, and be able to still succeed.
How do I know that I've got emotional intelligence or not?
Well, look, there are a couple of tests, and here will be some of them. For example, are you aware of what's happening within you, your own emotional state? And, are you able to regulate yourself? Like, even when you are triggered by people, are you one that quickly responds or reacts, when provoked? Do you also understand yourself? Like you say, today I'm not in the right state of mind. I'm avoiding people. I'm avoiding that particular person because he would trigger me. Do you understand others? Like, are you one who very easily understands where others are coming from, whether they're having a bad day or whether they need support or whether they need comfort? Are you one that's able to make decisions that are purely based on fact? Where you are able to put your emotions aside. So emotional intelligence is about empathy, self-regulation. It's about motivation.
Right. The million question, What are the benefits of emotional intelligence?
So emotional intelligence will help us succeed. We take it if you're leading a team, let's say you're a manager of a company, or whether it's a broadcast station, whether it's just a company that manufactures something, the ability for you to motivate your people, the ability for you to lead with empathy, for people to understand. We're not saying it's a democracy where everyone speaks and you take the common view, but what we're saying is that you understand the impact that your decisions have on others, and you carry them with your journey.
You're in human resources. You deal with human beings. Is this an added advantage, and especially when you were writing this book?
Well, it is, because this is something that, as a human resource practitioner, you need to have. But also, as an African child, it's something we had in abundance. This is something they taught, whether you're going through an initiation ceremony and you are now a man or a woman, and you're now a member of society. There was a focus on teaching you on how you live harmoniously with others. So this is not a skill that was a preserve of human resource practitioners. This was a preserve of anybody that had been initiated as a man or a woman to enter Zambian society. It is something we had. It wasn't in short supply.
Right.
But now it appears to be, because it's not taught in schools. The whole initiation ceremony thing is something that's no longer widely practiced. So we had this gift in abundance where whether it's chiefs bringing people together to reconcile them, whether it's an uncle reconciling you with a cousin, whether it's a father reconciling you with a brother, these skills were widespread. But over time, globalization, modernization, and others, they're not widely taught or discussed. Or if they are discussed, they've got like a Western view on what it is. It doesn't have our cultural context.
Right. When did this journey, start, of writing, Codex? And I'm intrigued about the name Codex, and, why Codex, and who are you walking along with? Who do you want to walk along with, during this journey?
I was working in Panama for close to 5 years, and the lockdown there was quite intense, like many other parts of the world, more intense perhaps than it was here in Zambia. And you couldn't leave your house. In order for you to leave your house, there were days that men could go, a Monday, Wednesday, or a Friday, and the number of your passport, the last digit, told you what time you needed to go. And if you were classified as an essential worker working on the mine, you had to go perhaps through isolation before you were allowed to go work on the mine. So I spent a better part of more than a year alone a lot when I went to work. It would be like 2 weeks when you're in isolation before you could go to work. And during that period, while there was uncertainty around the world, I had a son just a year before, and I started to write him letters, because if there was one gift I wanted to give my son, is the gift that was given to me, which was how to be emotionally resilient. Problems will come, and how do you overcome them, and how do you succeed? I started to write him letters, and my wife Brenda said, these letters don't have to wait till this boy can read. Why don't you share them with the world? And then I decided to change them from letters, which I wrote to him, but to actually share them with the world, so that everyone could begin their path to self-discovery and building emotional resilience and intelligence.
Codex, very interesting, intriguing, title. Could you just explain the title and who this book is targeted to?
So Codex is like a password. So we imagine you are in a pyramid, and there's this door. It needs a password, and when you manage to press the right combinations, that gives you access to this password. You now have access to all this ancient knowledge that you could apply to modern times. So Codex is an invitation to go to the past and get what's still valuable that we can apply now. In terms of targeting, it's targeted for everyone, but specifically those people that want to get on a journey of self-discovery, want to improve their relationships with other people, and want to be better members of society, more productive members of society. This is a book for you.
Give us a glimpse of what is in that book. Some significant chapters, for example.
Well, look, it's challenging to pick a significant chapter because I think all chapters are important. But I will quickly go to perhaps page 96 and just read a bit to you. It's a chapter on constructive forgiveness. Constructive forgiveness goes beyond the mere act of pardoning. It is a proactive and purposeful process that aims at fostering healing, reconciliation, It acknowledges that pain inflicted seeks understanding and allows for personal growth and transformation. In contrast, vengefulness driven by a desire for revenge only perpetuates a harmful cycle. It breeds negativity and impedes genuine reconciliation. By embracing constructive forgiveness, one actively promotes healing, enables the possibility for genuine reconciliation. It is an empowering decision that prioritizes personal well-being, sets appropriate boundaries. Choosing constructive forgiveness over vengefulness sets the scene for good development, opens the door for future marked by growth and understanding and harmony. Forgiveness is essential for emotional health, societal harmony. Individuals gain emotional healing, inner serenity by letting go of resentment and hurt.
There's another intelligence now taking center stage, and this is artificial intelligence. Are we in a good place if we're emotionally intelligent to respond to artificial intelligence?
Artificial intelligence won't really replace us. I think that artificial intelligence will make us better because there are certain tasks that we perform that are either manual or repetitive, and artificial intelligence will allow us to automate those. What artificial intelligence for many years to come, and I'm not predicting what will happen in 100 years or 50 years, won't be able to do is critical thinking, empathy. And these things are not things that you can simulate, because these things are something that are unique to us as humans. Yeah. So if there's a skill you need to have, many other skills will be replaced by artificial intelligence, but artificial intelligence for a long time to come will not be able to replace empathy, emotional intelligence.
Brilliant. One or two questions before we end this short interview. You talked about this long journey when writing this book. Are there people out there who related, who walked with you? You talked about your wife, your lovely wife, Brenda.
Yes. Look, there are many people who worked with me on this journey, on this book. I mean, I went to a school called Convent in Kitwe. The Sisters of the St. John the Baptist were very influential in my upbringing. My home, growing up as a Kitwe person in Riverside, I was part of a lovely community where people were generous with information. ZNBC, I consider myself a child of ZNBC. Yeah. I am privileged to have many uncles and aunties who, even after my parents have died over the years, have continued to provide guidance. UNZA is a place where people I met there or at school have always been inspirational in this journey. But even just the reception of the book, we sold hundreds of copies even before it dropped.
Amazing.
We have promoters all over the world, Canada, China, Brazil, freely putting the book up on their websites and offering us ways in which we can get the message out. Yeah. So we're really humbled with the support of people, yourself, this platform, and other people who, out of their own goodwill, have just reached out and said, we think this is a message that needs to go out. And I'm just honored and humbled. And what I am is merely a microphone. I don't want to be seen as an expert on this field. Yeah. This book has only a few pages. It doesn't represent the entire continent. Yeah. But what I hope it does is stimulate a discussion around the treasure trove that's there on the African continent and allows people to gain deeper interest into African literature, because there's a lot there that can help us in modern problems. They would have gone through many of what we are going through now. And they have the solutions that will help us unlock proper transformation and growth.
Where do we get this amazing book?
So this book's already available on Amazon. I'm published by Zambian Arts Publications, and by the 25th of August, it will be available in all major retail outlets across the country, in line with their distribution process. So any bookstore out there in the country, major bookstore, will have it. Zambian Arts Publication on its website. But for the international buyers or community, it's available on Amazon right now.
How does emotional intelligence relate to this long journey that we've embarked on as human beings? And where do you place emotional intelligence in reference to failure and success?
So when failure comes, you saw it when all of us quite recently were hyped when we had the Shipolopolo at the World Cup. I myself, had a lot of hopes high. We were hoping that we would get further than we wanted to get, and we didn't. And you could see even after the first game, The mood in the country was a bit down. The mood with our star ladies was a bit down. And I'm using that analogy as in life. Sometimes you succeed, you don't. At work, in your own relationship, you let yourself down, you let your community down. Even with your best of efforts, sometimes things don't work. And those are just emotions giving you a state of an inconsistency between your preferred state and what's going on. And this book just gives you resilience. Imagine modern day Chipata. And people would have come from South Africa. What the walk would have been. There weren't roads then. The jungle was dense. There were animals. They didn't know the route. They would have lost people along the way as they went. They left their homes, and the journey would have been unforgiving. But they had the emotional resilience. They had the will to continue. Despite failing, you continue. Success is just hidden failures. And in order to hide those failures, you have to succeed, even though you failed nine times. And emotional resilience just allows you to wake up again. Doesn't matter how yesterday was. You wake up again and saying, I can only control my input. I can't control the output. But if I keep trying, something will happen.
Soyapi, thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being here and talking to you.
I've been talking to Soyapi Maplanga, the author of Codex, all about emotional intelligence. This is a book you need. This is a book you have to walk with. Remember, life is a journey. Don't walk alone. Walk with Codex. Good evening.
Prepare for a transformative journey as we unveil the Ancestral Codex, guiding your resilience through ancient principles. Immerse yourself in ancient traditions that empower and sustain. Unlock insights and tools to navigate life's challenges with grace, strength, and enduring resilience. Embark on an odyssey through the Ancestral Codex, where wisdom converges to guide you to a more empowered self. Available now, a gateway to ancestral strength. Get your copy wherever books are found.